Have we started?
Mm-hmm.
See, I'm fine. Blackberry on a white wall. Oh my god. I'm so rolling. Hey guys.
Yeah.
Hey, welcome to Aton.
It's been long now.
You look like an old person.
Show me.
Okay, you are 30 next year. Next week. Steve is going to be 30 next week, Thursday. Please, if you have gifts that you want to give him, and his PA, please let it be unisex, the gift.
See? Yeah,
be unisex something.
Only,
so I can be using it for him.
Only. it feels so long since we've been here, Sha.
That's the
so long.
challenges
Like 2 weeks now.
The challenges of life, and because you are growing old, you have more challenges of life. But God has spoken to you today in the Sunday service. And besides, it's not you that he spoke to in church.
Today was significant, really, in church.
Oh God! As I saw that you came up from the system, you went to go and pray outside. You went to pray outside. You're walking and pray. I said, "Hey, Tim can stand up from sitting to go and pray." Oh God!
What now? I'm not that shy.
I'm like, oh my God! So this guy can pray like this? Oh Lord, already to touch a gun.
Yeah.
So that's in the scripture. He said the scripture is what is it? What
is life?
It's not that's not what I want to say. Okay. When you say all scriptures, I think it's is it 2 Timothy 2:16. Because they asked us in the test today and I don't remember. So I went to check. See, all scriptures are inspired by God. And they are for reproof. Is it reproof?
Yeah,
rebuke, correction, blah blah blah. I can't remember.
Repentance and stuff. And then it's the doctrine, yeah. The word of God. So, but that's
what's the word of God? Is the doctrine?
It is our doctrine.
Oh, okay. I thought it's reading inside the scripture. Now I want to ask you, where say it's you that wrote the Bible. Please let's go back to what we want to say.
Wait.
Okay.
And then the word of God, as it were, it comes with different meanings based on the context of what God wants to talk to you about. That's what happened today. Which one? It's not that deep.
Please, what did the Lord minister to you today?
The pastor preached about be courageous, courage, get and stuff, and from there, very in between the line, he said waiting can be, or it's a statement of courage. Waiting, it is not always.
How come I not hear that?
That's the point. I'm sure. Yeah.
No. The thing, what strikes me is different from what strikes you.
Exactly what I was talking about. That it comes in your own context.
Yeah. Of course, I would have had it, but it didn't strike.
Yeah. That passage you read, Joshua. I can't remember the passage now, but I read the passage in Joshua. I've forgotten the chapter and the verse now. It's a chapter, a book, a place in the Bible I've been reading over and over and over, so it made a new, different meaning.
Oh my God!
And I realized that
it touched me.
I think we are even digressing, but we'll go back to our topic.
We are enjoying flexing.
So I realized that there are many things we have prayed about that God has answered already, right? And when we are getting to the point of realization and actualization of those things, we get scared and start asking foolish questions like, wait, am I ready? Do I deserve it? Can I do it? I am in that area. I'm in that spot. Sure you get. And now, you remember that in our foundation class in the church we attend now, we read Luke 1, right? When the angel Gabriel went to talk to Zacharias.
Preach to me.
Right?
Oh.
When Gabriel spoke to Zacharias,
about
John, their son, and the pregnancy and stuff. And then we had this conversation now. And Mary, they both expressed doubt, but the outcome of the encounter was different.
So Zachariah was punished for his doubt, but Mary was not punished. She was they even explained for that. The angel was like, okay, let me explain to you further.
And the first statement the angel made is that thou art favored. Sure you get. On Zachariah's aspect, your prayers have been answered. So it's from a place of you have prayed for this thing, you have longed for it, you know that God will.
Why is your finger like this? It looks like yam.
Sexy.
Continue.
You have prayed for this, you know better, Abi. Now you are doubting it. What is the problem? Sure you get. So I kind of related the two. I mean, it's just subconscious. You get. I kind of related, and I realized that this is actually there's a meeting point. Sure you get. So I realized that many of the things I have prayed for, I mean, this applies to all of us. Many of the things I've prayed for, that the bigger pictures that, they say dream big. If your dream don't scare you, blah, 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 all those things. We have prayed for those things. They are not things we can reach, but because by faith we have prayed them, have we? And we know God has answered our prayers. It's left for you to, tap into your sonship in Christ. So now, it's coming to pass. I'm seeing the signs, right? God is telling me every day in His words that this will happen. He's telling me be courageous. He's telling me that I should trust Him.
But that's in so much because all these things that you're saying is parable to me.
So those things are, and this is a big deal, right? So
yeah.
So now, sometimes I like, wait, can I handle this manifestation?
This glory that is coming to you.
Yeah. Can I handle it? I've never done it before. So my carnality is telling me that, oh boy, what if? Sure, you get. It's not about God is going to do. God will do it. No, I'm scared of when it happens. How do I handle it?
How to handle it when you blow? How will you handle the blow?
So that's the thing. So it really struck me, and I couldn't handle it. I couldn't even that prayer session. I couldn't pray.
Yeah.
I couldn't pray. I was just. I don't know how to explain, but I couldn't pray. So I walked. I was just walking now, praying in the spirit. I couldn't utter. I couldn't speak any words. If I had said anything, I would have cried.
Oh my God!
Yeah, I didn't want to embarrass myself. That's why I left where we sat.
If you cry, how will you embarrass yourself?
It's me. It's not about anybody else. It's me.
And you cry, I carry tissue and clean your eyes.
Oh, I felt vulnerable.
Oh my God!
I felt vulnerable.
But the back, you now went to say you're not vulnerable.
I was alone now. I was able. I could have privacy at the back. No, not in that place. So that's why.
It's okay. I don't know.
I don't know if this makes sense, but that's just.
It will touch somebody. We don't.
Right.
We don't just say things out of maybe for somebody actually, maybe for one person. So
true.
So
you just never know.
You never know, and if it is you, testify of the Lord's goodness.
Yeah.
Let the Lord do more for you.
Yeah.
So guys, we're back again, and today we're going to be speaking on two topics that I want to bring together because this topic, I have my topic team as a topic, and nobody wants to surrender for one.
Yeah, so we are merging the two.
So but I hope it connects. If it does not connect, you take it like that.
Take it like that, yeah.
Yeah.
But one will think frontline, the other will be on the background, and we could do another content on it.
So my own topic is money important for getting married? Is this something you consider before you get married? Must you consider your financial status before you get married? Tim's own topic is. Oh, Rantimo?
Yeah, my topic. I'm trying to remember it properly in the context.
That is money.
Yeah, is money a factor when choosing a spouse?
Like my friend Ella said, I want to marry. Like Ella would say, I want to marry a rich man.
Yeah, that the man must be able to take care of me and my family.
I want to marry a rich man, then I will be a full-time myself. Then I will marry 13 children. And I will not sit there and be enjoying life.
That's what Ella is saying. So if you are going to marry that girl, should you consider her financial status? Right? I'm not saying that you need her money, but do you need to know? Is it important? Financial, whatever. Is it important? It's about knowing her debts and her gains. So, and him too. When he's asking you out and you are considering him amongst other guys, is money an important factor? Understand that our contents are always in the context of being a child of God, of a believer, in the context of a believer, right? So that means that you have checked out he's a believer, you have checked out his value system, you have checked out his doctrines, right? You have checked out family. Then is money one of the top 3-4 things
to consider? So where are we starting? Okay,
let's start from yours. Yours is we'll take the front line. We can always create another content on this.
All right. So
it doesn't
if you find that babe, God has said yes and everything is working together, do you consider your financial status before you move on with the marriage? Will you consider before you move on with the wedding? So what do you think? Is this something you got married? Did you think of a financial status before getting married?
Truthfully, yes. We are all humans, and we are humans. We flesh, blood, and we are, especially a person like me that is very logical, right? I must be, before I do anything, I'm very optimistic. In fact, can be dangerously optimistic about things, right? Which is something that might influence my eventual.
I have an issue with the fact that we don't see how many time is left, how much time is left.
No, it won't show because we have a lot of space, so it won't show. It will just show what is ready. But if it stops, those buttons will change.
All right. Okay.
So now, I've lost my line of thought. So yeah,
We are humans,
So being a logical being, it is something you'd consider. It's as good as, okay, for a person like me now, I plan weeks ahead. Right now, I'm almost sure of what I should be doing in the next 4 weeks. Then, up to almost 10 years ahead, I am in my head. I have an idea, like planned, right? but now, it's somehow somewhere there. I have, because I'm a child of God, I have come to understand that my thoughts, my plans, are for me to guide me, right? To have a blueprint or a goal.
Yeah.
But they are not written in gold, such that God cannot redirect. Sure you get?
Yeah.
That is my idea of it. So when we were getting married, before even asking you out, I knew I should not do this if I cannot take care of another person aside myself. Right?
But you're not taking care of me now.
Who told you I'm not taking care of you?
I say if I'm selling chicken and chips now at Dubai this evening, so will I take care of me?
Yes, now.
I beg you.
Dubai is not so much of a location, physical location.
I'm shocked, sir.
But when I was saying yes, you think I don't know what I'm saying.
Oh, I know. I'm like, yeah, not taking care of me. Oh.
So I knew I needed some sense of financial, not security, but I need to have a financial system, something like either a job, like a salary, or an investment, or something that I can logically, humanly make decisions around. Sure you get?
Yeah.
And but truthfully, we got married without any of us working a job, right? And my business then was just barely I can't even say it has picked up, but we have started doing something, right? So there's a place of faith, right? But we must be responsible. I think that's the word.
Yeah.
So as a young man at the time, I knew that I needed money, but I also understood that this is beyond my works. Right? We talked about dead works. We talked about dead works in the last weeks. Or sure you get. So that is a symbol as a man. The money, the job, the business, my financial records in the last 6 months, they are symbols. They are symbols that that signifies health financially. But deeper than that, I'm a child of God, and God has told me get married. So whatever my financial record is saying, the symbol is now subject or secondary to that grace that God has provided.
Cash it, revelation. Cash it. That is what it is.
That was my mindset at the time. If not, I would not have asked you out the time I asked you out. I would not have been talking about marriage the time I did. Because then, if you look at it like we discussed about finances right there. I think I'm jumping to the second one now, but not so much. So we talked about finances and stuff like that. And I told you what I'm earning. You were earning more money than me at the point in time. Right? Your average income per month was times 3 of what my average income at that time was. But at the same time, you realize that I had investments that were pouring me times 20. Right? But the focus there was to use the money for business, not for family or personal. So that's the context. So I could do that because I realized that I'm sure that God is leading me in this direction. So that's actually
was just by the way.
Yeah.
For me, I tell people, you have to be responsible. Yeah. You have to have something going on. One of the spouses should have. It doesn't matter who has the money. That's why I'm so all this issue of man or clinical. The one person has to be working. Is the man or is the woman? One person has to be working. You have to see that there's a practical way of money entry.
Yes.
You understand? Now, but beyond that, we must put faith in God. Like we must not get to that point where we put all our financial, where we put our financial trust in where we make money from, our business, our 9 to 5, whatever it is. You must never get to that point where you calculate so well and remove God from it. Because I know people who work. I used to have these clients that I shot their wedding. Told them we're working in a good place. They're working well, and after the wedding they sacked the 2 of them. Those are people they plan. Did they not plan?
They plan, and that's reality. It happened in our case now. Immediately we got married about a month in. The investments I was probably using we even funded our wedding in some aspects that we had everything went silent till today. So we'll go back to that later, but that's a reality.
So, and we have been living, you understand? So
And we have never lacked.
we have learned to trust. You have to learn how to trust God. You have, as a believer, you must learn how to put your faith in God. You must learn how to squeeze out things from God by faith. A believer's life is by faith. You get married by faith.
Actually, everything. You do
Everything is by faith.
Righteousness. Okay.
How much do you want to have? How much will you want to have that you like? This is what is enough for me to take care of myself. Because
True.
calculate how much you spend in a month. It is usually more than how much you make. That means God is providing for you.
Yes.
God is, so we must go to that point that beyond all of the this and that, I must put my trust in God. So when you are planning to get married, don't just look at that source of income. Especially when God is saying, move, go on. When God is saying, I want you to do it. Because sometimes, and that's the truth, sometimes we don't believe this thing, that sometimes when you get married is when you have that breakthrough. That's only when it's God. If that's what God wants you to do. Understand? Because believers don't just marry because it is I now have 1 million and I get married, or
I'm
I'm now clinical age, or I've just left university. And like I used to tell people that believers live by seasons. There are seasons and times in our lives. We don't live by the physical. We don't live by the physical sun and the moon. Sun and moon. The sun, the rotation of the sun. No, rotation of the earth against the sun. You don't live by that day and night. You don't live by day and night. You live by God's plan for your life. God has seasons. So you can be in university and God says, this is the time for you to get married. This is when I want you to get married. This is when I want you to have a unity that represent the kingdom. You don't have to now say, no, it's in Nigeria. We get married after university, after NYC. That's when you get married. You understand? You must understand what God planned. Don't be lazy. You understand? And this is not an excuse for you not to just get married without having money and all of those things.
It's not an excuse.
Of course, you must be fiscally responsible. I'm just saying that you must have that point in your life beyond money or whatever it is that you have. God, what are you saying at this time? What are you saying in this season?
Yeah.
What do you want me to do at this time? And I realize that most time when people say they don't have money for marriage, what they mean is that they don't have money for wedding.
True.
Because when you're living on your own, how much do you need to live? Because apparently we felt that you don't have to have a child when you get married. You don't have to.
I think we have even addressed that it's okay for you not to have kids, to not get pregnant in the first few months.
First few years of marriage.
It's a choice.
There are people who wait for 3 years because they want to wait. You understand? So you must have that at the back of your mind that wedding. Wedding is not like a big wedding, or the cost of a wedding does not determine how successful a marriage is. So how
successful you are financially.
If I have 500,000 naira, this is what we have. 500,000. Two of us, maybe two people come together and say, it's 200,000 naira we have that we are worth at this time. Use 50,000 naira to do wedding that you can afford, and go to your house, get a house, and live. You understand? We must come to that place where we don't exalt. We don't, because of wedding, we want to spend so much on wedding. We would not go out of God's plan for us for marriage. So some people also have gotten married for so long, but they won't get married because they believe that they want to do something elaborate, or they feel that they don't have the money. Make a decision. Many people, I remember one guy was saying that a week before his wedding, he had not even gotten money for suit, but he still wore suit on wedding, and he wore a new suit. I know borrow suits.
Yeah, recently you wrote this thing for someone, spend 1 million naira on a wedding, and the person eventually spend 1 million, but maybe like 1.1 or something like that. I don't know if you remember.
Okay.
Recently, is it December or January that the person did the wedding and spent your budget you wrote for the person of 1 million naira, maybe a little extra. And the wedding was not a poor wedding. The person is not even a poor person, no. The person just chose to not spend more.
I didn't even remember the person.
We spent more than that in our wedding. We spent like almost times 3 or times 4 of that in our wedding. Not because we were so rich. Our wedding, if you even look at the pictures and we were there, you will see how simple it is, but yet the money was not small. Sure, you get. So it's about capacity, not doing more than. That's what you're saying now. Not more than what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
Now, Pastor Paul, you used to say this thing in different ways, that the business you work or the job you work is not the source of your resources or your income. It is not the source. It's the vehicle that God has used. So you get.
It entered my brain. It's a vehicle, honestly.
Yeah, it's a vehicle. So don't, in this context, don't major on the minor and minor on the major. The major is the real source of that income, which is who is instructing you to go and do this. In this context, get married. Now, at that point in time, in your sincerity of heart and your conviction, major on that major, the source, not on the minor, the vehicle that you are looking at. So God has provided that vehicle for you, right, to give you what you need per time. And we have talked about times and seasons, right? Now, I want to connect this in some way. So, at that point in time, you were single. This is contextual. You are single, and at that time, you don't lack, you don't have excesses, you don't have houses everywhere in Nigeria. But at that point in time, you want to go to the cinema, you could go, you could eat, you could subscribe your phone, you could buy new clothes. The girlfriend you are dating or the boyfriend you are dating at the time, you could support them, you could take them out, right? Now, you are using that as an indices for what your life will be after marriage. When in fact, it is God that is providing what you need at the time for you. Don't forget, that job or that business is the vehicle that gives you what you need per time, seasons, right? Now, it is just normal as a child of God and common sense that you major on the source, God, that has provided that vehicle and the resources that He is directing you and knows ahead what you need.
Yeah.
And God does not provide based on the capital, the capital market of Nigerian Stock Exchange. That's not how God works.
True.
God works in His entirety, and He's enormously big. To understand God's size, you have to understand interstellar and solar systems to understand a fraction of the size of God. Now, we had a conversation where we gave out to Valor about times and seasons, and we're saying that in our marriages, our investments, this, that, and that, God has been providing everything we need per time. We may not have excesses. When we need to pay salaries, the money comes. When we need to repay the office, the money comes. When we need to service our car, the money just comes. And a friend told us that, times and seasons. The children of Israel, when they had manna, the manna was just enough for that time. There was a season after then that they had abundance. So those times and seasons is also applicable here. It's that time. What is God telling you? It is more important than the vehicle you are looking at as your indices of financial health.
Who even said that job that you are doing, God cannot promote you? Who told you that you cannot get a better job? You don't just look at yourself by the things that you have and you own at this time. Things change, seasons change. Look at yourself 3 years ago. Do you ever think that you can buy that thing that you are buying now? Do you ever think that you can ride that car you are riding now? You understand? Things change. I remember that last year I was telling my photography people that this is one of the years that I've done the least work, obviously because I was also pregnant and because of Corona. But I've made a lot of money.
No, apart from making a lot of money, that you have done the more spending. This season,
2020 now. 2020. Because I remember that I was just seeing my house. When somebody came to sell, somebody said the people outside Nigeria, I sold 2 of my pictures to this gallery.
In US, you sold.
And I was like, this is the money I will make from shooting an event. And like, I just collected it. Lofe. Okay, I will not say lofe, lofu.
Yeah,
of course,
just like that.
Just like that. You understand? And yes, it's still the same photography, but it was easy.
Yeah.
So it was easy. You understand?
Different channel.
It's a different channel. Yes, the same thing. So you can actually, like somebody was telling me that somebody referred like on WhatsApp now. So I see this person posting this thing. I said, my friend needs your service, so I send it to the person. And after the person rendered that service, the person was like, thank you for referring me, or give her some amount that's more than the person's salary.
Yeah.
So what are we not saying? That's provision. Like, imagine somebody just gives you more than your salary for the month. They say, thank you for helping me. Thank you for referring someone to me. So you see, there are ways that God can always do. There are different avenues. I'm telling you, different avenues. So don't just. I know it's very difficult. I know in our time when people write on Twitter that if you're not making 500,000 a month, don't go and marry somebody's wife and somebody's daughter and go and making them suffer and all of those things. And some of us have become so exposed to the fiscal reality that our spiritual senses are dead.
Yeah.
There are people who are not even believers that live on lower incomes. They have family, they have kids, and they are living well. But because our eyes have opened, because of the content that you swallow on the internet, you just want to be woke. Like, if you don't have this, I don't want this one. If you don't have the clinical. People that are not up to you are making that small, tiny amount of money that you are saying is not enough for you. Are using it and they're taking care of their family. Of course, we're not saying that you should glory in poverty.
No,
but we are
there's no- in
saying
fact,
that
there's no
we are saying
glory
that
in
we are saying that be open your life, your kingdom, or wherever you are from. You should live from the spiritual reality. That's what you are. Don't be so big on hey, we don't have this 100,000 in our account, so we cannot leave. Or we don't have Kiniko on our account, we cannot leave. You understand? So those are
Yeah, so we must be responsible
sure
as people, and especially as children.
and
of God.
hardworking.
Yeah, we must be hardworking. It is non-negotiable. God does not even condone mediocrity, right? But at the same time, not but, at the same time, we must be conscious of what God is saying per time and per season. That should be the anchor. That is what should be the measure of what forms our decisions and what forms how we feel or react to things as such. So that's my opinion. That's our opinion on that. So money is important. Our first date ever, it was money that we discussed. And the first thing I asked her that, how much do you make? And I told her how much I make.
Let's go into the second topic now.
Okay, yes. How much do you make and how much? And the context of it is not because I want to know is she making more money than me or whatever, or is our combined financial this thing enough for our future? That was not the context. The context is understanding her, knowing her, just is for details sake. So now I know her value system. I know she's a child of God, right? I know how she dresses. I know her style of dressing, right? I know the kind of friends she keeps. I know she's a photographer. Then it just makes sense to know her financial liabilities and her financial assets. She understand. And then it's a form of transparency. And then it is me laying the foundation of the kind of home we should have, right? So because that was a statement on my part that I believe in financial transparency. That was actually what I was trying to communicate without saying it verbatim, right? So that was the context. So I believe that the financial conversations, money conversations should be those conversations we should have those conversations before getting married. I don't think they should be deal breakers because we have established earlier that God directs, God directs in His wisdom, which is not in confines of.
What if the person is owing a lot of debt?
So if you were owing a lot of debt at the time I asked you about it, I wouldn't have left you. And if you had debts at that time we were talking about our financial needs, it is not enough for me to leave the relationship. That's exactly what I'm talking about. And what I would have done at that point in time is, what are you doing about it?
Okay.
What job do you work? This is your income. How are you paying it back? Right? Am I supposed to come in? I don't know. Right? I don't know if I'm supposed to come in. The people you owe debt, what is the terms? Are they disturbing you? It's just for me to understand.
You will come in now. If you
then,
get married to the person, you have come into the debt now.
We are not married yet at that point in time.
And I'm just saying that the person will eventually come in.
Eventually, by that time, I don't know if I should come in or not. Sure, you get. So I'm talking about this is what I will do, and if you ask me, that's exactly what I will tell you to do, right? So that it is not enough to break up, because at the first instance, I did not come to ask you because you look fine, because I want a wife. No, I was directed by God, right?
Is it God that directed it to me? I'll be sure that I say define there.
I was directed by God. So we are all directed by God. Sure, you get. What do you want me to say? We are all directed by God. We live by God's direction, isn't it?
Yeah.
By inspiration. So if I must lead the relationship, then but like we said earlier, we have to be careful in around the issues. We released a content recently about this person is beating me. It's abusive. And is it God that is directing me? We've had we have this conversation before, right? So in all of this, we must be sincere with ourselves. What is God telling us at that time? But the truth is, when it comes to issues of this debt or financial liabilities and stuff, it is beyond. If she owes debt, I can't marry her. If he is not financially buoyant, I can't marry him. It is beyond that. That's exactly what I've been trying to explain. It is more than that. It is more than white and black. There's more to it. That is why I can't make a decision of I'm breaking up or I'm backing off because she says she owes debts. That's exactly what I'm trying to say. So if I must make a decision that negates, I go back to the source. right? If it's something that I can't condone or contain,
like a financial someone that is not financially disciplined,
I must have to go back. Wait, to what's going on here? Sure, you understand? I must have to reevaluate everything, or if it's something that has to do with some deep values that we disagree on or stuff like that, I must have to go back to the source. What is going on? Can I handle this? Am I supposed to be here? Or so we have to ask. But I don't think there should be on this context. I don't think it should be a black and white thing. So that's what I think. What will you do?
If
Finances.
I'm just admiring my black beauty color and skin. Okay, if what? If I discover the person is in a lot of debt? That's a deep question. Koloma, God should not tempt us more than our agbara. But really, the truth is in a relationship, you cannot have somebody who comes with everything about him being an advantage. There will always be, is it a baggage? Like, what is a baggage?
Yeah.
There will always be something you have to deal with. You understand? There will always be something you have to deal with. So, like you said, you have to value. You have to value this side by side. Is this what throwing the person away for? Is this worth it? You understand? If it's only you that can answer the question. If it is a pattern of somebody, like I know somebody that the guy is he works in the bank, he's always duping people, and they just said, okay, it's gonna change. And so they got married, first year, second year, I was not doing it. But no, after some time, the fish that's inside water will always be a fish, even if you carry it out. The guy did it again, and the relationship had to end. The marriage had to end because of that. So if it's a pattern, you have to give yourself brain. But if it's your own business, maybe somebody just did a business like this business will work, and you invest again, and it something just happened and you are in debt, you know that this is not a pattern. This is just one mistake. And when the business was giving you so much money, you spent the money together, and so you realize this is a mistake.
Yeah. So that's why it can be black and white.
Yeah, that's different. But what if it's a pattern? That's why I say watch out for patterns in the person. If it's a pattern, then it's a big. That's one of the reasons why you should ask questions. You should ask questions: how much do you owe? How much do you earn? What do you do with the money you earn? How much do you save? What do you do with it? Like, all of those questions are important, because finance is very important in marriage. Well, one of the things that cause a lot of disagreement in marriage. So these are things you ask. You're not asking because I want to do how much it makes. Well, how much it makes so that I can eat out of his goodness and all this. It's about accountability. First of all, transparency and helping. Because if the guy say I make 500,000 in a month and I'm always broke before the end of the month, then you know that this person has a problem with spending, and you can help the person. Sometimes some people deliberately want to be helped. They deliberately want to be given that. I want to teach you how to spend money.
So it's not all about can I handle it.
It's not about judgment.
Sometimes it's about how
can I get better. How can I help you? How can I help you get better? How do we come together to make this finance better? So you spend this, you spend that. How do we come together to spend less by bringing this together? Yeah. We have come to the end of today's episode. If this ministers to you, drop your ministers for free in the comments below. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. I hope this blesses you. I hope you learned something from this episode. Yeah,
please, if you have questions or things you think we should talk about, like we've been saying before, feel free to send us an email. therealidealis@gmail.com.
Yeah.
Or drop it in the comment section, or send us a DM on Facebook or Instagram.
And if you have any question, you can ask. People ask questions on Instagram inbox. I realize that some people feel that email is too official. You can come to this. You can Instagram. You can come to Facebook. If you have my WhatsApp line, you can reach me on it.
Or you can also reach me on WhatsApp too, if you do have my contact.
Yeah, guys.
And I'd love to have your contact. Don't mind.
Mary, would not like to have your contact.
Me, I will.
I'm proud poison. I don't have your contact. Yeah, just joking. So, thank you for watching. Do not forget to subscribe. It's
very, very, very important. And tell your neighbor.
You can go to Hellfire because of not
Jesus Christ,
subscribing yet. I'm serious. You can go to Hellfire because that is disobedience. It's disobedience. Guys, thank you for watching. See you guys see you guys this week.
Next time.
Next time. See you next time.
Next time. Enjoy yourself. Yeah.
What happened?
I like to do this because it affords me the opportunity to. What are you covering? Yeah. Yeah. Masha, come here.
You should do the intro.
How do we do the montage? Because a picture of Lama. What picture are we using for the montage? Do I need music?